You can choose to not do this one day more. You can choose to live a better life from this point forward. You got to forgive yourself for all the time you've wasted. Forgive yourself for the mistakes you made. Forgive yourself for the past. You can't change it. You got to forgive yourself. And then you have to commit that I am going to be better. I'm going to choose to be better every day. I'm going to choose to wake up and I'm going to put a smile on my face. I'm going to fake it till I make it. I'm going to choose to do it. I'm going to choose to get out and go to the gym and be around people and do it. It's uncomfortable. I'm gonna do it scared. I'm gonna do it afraid. I'm gonna do it alone. I'm gonna do it through the tears. I'm gonna do it through the confusion. I'm going to do it. I'm gonna stop asking for permission. I'm going to start seeking out information. I'm not going to just wait for people to tell me. I'm going to go figure it out. I'm going to put my money where my mouth is, and I'm going to do it. And I'm never going to stop. There's never going to be a time or a place I'm good to where I'm like, okay, well, I'm doing better than I was a year ago, so that's okay. No, 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 because then you take a nap, just like the grasshopper and the ant, and then you get good. You make a decision to never stop.
What's good, YouTube? As you can see, we sitting today. Um, we were gonna go walking. I was gonna do the walk in record thing, but I ended up walking with family, and you know, I didn't really think it was appropriate to break the camera out or distance myself to break the camera out and record for 20 minutes like I did, yesterday. So, but here we are, May 5th, Cinco de Mayo. Happy Cinco de Mayo, everybody. And y'all see the title of the video, so let's get to the business. Let me talk about my experience watching Kevin Samuels. R.I.P. to the Godfather, Kevin Samuels. So first off, I want to state that in the later years of his content, when he started giving women's advice, because that's how I always saw him. I saw him as like an advice channel. When he started giving women's advice, I really started to distance myself from watching the content. And every now and again, I'll check in with a clip, or I'll check in and give a donation or something, because I supported what he was trying to do, or at least what he said he was trying to do. But I'm jumping way far ahead. Let me start this off with saying I found Kevin Samuels' content on accident. Maybe not on accident. I found it indirectly. It was never popped up in my YouTube algorithm. Um, I never searched anything like fashion or fragrance related to get to him. Um, I found his content because of a friend, technically, kind of, sort of. Let me explain. So, there was this guy that I used to work with. We worked night shifts together. We used to chop it up all the time. And, we were both on the trying to better ourselves and kind of realizing how the world works sort of wave. So that really got us into the red pill type of content, a little bit of conservative type of content. People trying to find yourselves and then solidifying yourselves in super reality based, independent, you can only trust you and your wolf pack of people type of content. Um and a lot of that stuff, leads you to the manosphere. A lot of that stuff, you know, brings you to red pill stuff, and I don't know how he found them, but after he found AMS, he suggested that I start watching his content. And this was early AMS days. Like he had maybe started doing videos. I don't even know, maybe a couple months when my boy found him. And after he suggested that I watch it, I was like, yeah, yeah, I'm gonna get to it. I remember distinctly, I didn't watch no AMS videos for like 2 months after he suggested it to me. And I finally decided to search him up, and I was hooked immediately. I don't know whether it was what he was saying but everything he said, I believed, and every story he told, I took to heart, and every lick of advice he gave, I followed. All right, so this was had to be around 2017. Um, and I'm watching the videos, I'm learning, I'm getting it, and then at some point he's watching a video. I'm watching a video, and he mentions that you know you need to get your when you get your game right, you come watch me. If you need to get your money right, or no, he said if you want to get your money right, you watch somebody else. I forgot who he said, and he said if you want to get your fashion game right, you go to Kevin Samuels. And I was like, who the hell is Kevin Samuels? Searched through the comments, I didn't really see anything. I'm like, who the hell is this? And at that point, I think AMS, and if you count maybe Tommy Sotomayor, that's really the only manosphere type of content I was ever watched. I didn't even know that it was a whole sector of YouTube. My at this time, my thought of self improvement YouTube was like Jose Zuniga, and Adam Moreno. Uh, I think I might have found the style OG at this point, but for the most part, it's white guys, Hispanic guys, you know, talking about white hair and how to get white chicks, which wasn't never really my thing. I'm digressing. I know. Listen, I ramble. Anyway, so yeah, AMS says you want to get your fashion right, look up Kevin Samuels. So I look up Kevin Samuels. I type in the name. I'm like, this must be the guy. He seems like a fashion guy. As a matter of fact, I believe that he did an interview with AMS that was up on their page already, up on his page. And I'm looking at his catalog, and I'm like, yo, are you serious? This dude had 1 hour, 2 hour, 3 hour live streams. And I'm like, dog, I gotta sit there for 3 hours and listen to this man talk. Like, this is crazy. He had a very distinct catalog for short videos, right? Short videos. It was fragrance advice, frames, some little style tips. He had some other topics, but the real gems and the real shit that he was saying was in the live streams that he had, in the monologues he would do. So I think the first one that I watched was him. The first live stream that I watched, I believe he was talking about fitness and getting yourself physically together. And I sat there and I watched that live stream replay, and I'm just like, yo, this dude is on point. Honestly, everything that he was saying, for me, it was like AMS times 10 with the type of game that he was dropping about, you know, just talking about his real life scenarios, talking about how you can apply it. And then after giving you all this advice, all these gems for the past hour, he would turn around and open up phone lines and talk to people and give dudes advice on their specific situations. And I can't tell you how helpful that was for me. Well, he breaks down everything and tells them what to do. I'm out here to the point where I'm like, yo, should I be taking notes of this shit? Like, this dude's on game for real, for real. So I start watching the content, and with a lot of the self improvement content, a lot of the times you feel like after you watch it, you feel better about yourself. Like you feel like you did something after watching it. It's like reading a book, right? You read the book, but you don't apply anything that you learned from the book. You're just happy that you read it. And with a lot of the red pill manosphere type content out there, I feel like that's what a lot of guys do. Like you watch the content and you feel like you did something. So now you're just like, all right, you feel like you good without really doing any of the work to improve. So at that point, when I started watching Kevin, I really started going gung ho on my fitness. I started putting in hours at work. Listen, he was talking about he talked about how guys should really only be home to sleep, shower, and shit. That's it. And that's all I did. I was working. I picked up another job. I think I picked up maybe two jobs. I was working 80, 100-hour weeks, right? I was hitting the gym every, I think, 5, maybe 6 days a week. And every Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday night, I was out. I didn't eat the food in the crib. I was like, yo, I'm working hard for my money. I'm working all these hours. I'm gonna, enjoy myself. I go out. So I go out by myself. I go out with friends. I had that shit like scheduled down packed. And, I was enjoying the way that I was living, but I knew that it wasn't sustainable for me. And I'll say this, when I was losing weight and my bank account was had commas in it, and I'm working hard. I feel entitled to stuff. I gotta say, I did change the type of person I was. I became a little bit more cocky, a little more arrogant, confident. I was feeling myself, right? And in the midst of that, gotta say, probably bit off a little bit more than I could chew with women. It led to some mistakes being made. Long story less long. Led to some mistakes being made, and me, I don't even know. It led to mistakes being made. It led to complications being had, and it led to essentially the downfall of my relationship. Um, and I took that real hard. Like I really felt like I was untouchable at a point, and I got touched, and I really, I fell off everything. I was even trying to get YouTube back going again. Fell off on that. Fell off on. I was showing up late to work. I lost a couple of the jobs that I had. You know, One of the things that I wish I would have did, instead of working so many hours at a dead end job like I was doing, I wish I had spent more time learning a skill to improve the career path that I was on. And to this day, I'm still trying to recorrect, re to correct, certain mistakes I made back then. And I fell off hard, man. And every time I thought I reached rock bottom, you know, I just turn around and I'm just sinking lower. And at this point, when I'm watching Kevin's content, he's not even giving the men advice no more. He said, "Yo, hey man, if I spent," he said he spent like 5 years talking to men, and he gave us all the game that we needed. He took some of the videos down and was like, "Yo, if you need game from me, you gotta pay for it." Which, to that point, I understand. But he started giving women their game and started talking to the ladies. I'm telling you, he spoke to men the exact same way he spoke to the women in the live streams. It was exactly the same. It was brute force honesty on his opinion of what you should do to correct your life and where you went wrong, what you did wrong, full diagnosis of your life situation. Um, but yeah, so he was giving women's advice, so I really stopped watching. I wasn't really paying as much attention. Every once in a while I'll post the clips that come out of him, back when he was doing men's content and telling men how to better themselves. But yeah, so I say all that to say that I have a lot of fond memories, watching Kevin and growing into myself and just that whole experience that I had. Um, I wouldn't take nothing back because, I learned what I learned from that experience. Um, and I still, by the grace of who is ever up there, God, Allah, by the grace of somebody, I'm still here and I'm able to take the things that I learned and apply it to my life, you know, moving forward. But yeah, I say all that to say to Kevin, I donated to the channel plenty of times. I subbed to the Patreon, stuff like that. I was a real rolling supporter of what he was trying to do. He was a big proponent. He said he was a big proponent of, you know, rebuilding the black community. And, I'm a sucker with that. You telling me that you want black folks to stay together, you want black folks to build something together and to become, recognized as elite people. Yeah, I'm on that. I want that. I wanted all of that. But here we go. I'm rambling again. Um, but yeah, R.I.P. Kevin Samuels. Appreciate all the game that you spit, all the lives that you touched, and yeah, just like that, we out.
Conflict avoiding people often will mask their inability to handle conflict as I'm just laid back, relaxed, and drama free. Run from motherfuckers who say they're drama free. Ladies and gentlemen, run from those people. They'll ghost you and make you at fault because you want to handle the conflict in a healthy way. It's not about conflict avoidance. It's about conflict management.